Bristol Community College, Mathematics with Dan Avedikian, Math 131, Elements of College Mathematics, Section 5.2, Problem 3. This is Section 5.2, Problem 3. It says Dave saves $130 every month at 9% compounded monthly. If he does this for 25 years, how much money will he have? So this is another annuity question. It's an annuity question because you know how much you're saving on a regular basis and you want to calculate the end result. So we will start with the annuity formula, which is A equals P times some brackets, and in the brackets there's a numerator and a denominator. In the numerator you have some parentheses, 1 plus r over m to the m times t power. There's a minus 1 after the parentheses, and r over m in the denominator. So that's what we're going to fill in. Now, as we fill it in, A, the amount we're trying to find, equals P, the regular savings is $130, times, and then in the brackets, in my parentheses, the 1 plus r over m is 1 plus r, the rate as a decimal. My rate is 9%, so written as a decimal is 0.09. And then over m, the number of times compounded every year. So this is monthly compounding, so m would be 12. Close the parentheses. The parentheses have an exponent of m times t. M is 12 for monthly compounding, and t is 25 for the number of years that Dave is saving this money. And after my parentheses, I have a minus 1. Don't forget the minus 1. And in the denominator, r over m. So again, r, the rate as a decimal, is 0.09. M, the number of times compounded per year, is 12. So that's how it fills in. And to get it started, I'm going to do the work in the parentheses. You always have to do work in parentheses first. So A equals 130 times some brackets, again with a numerator and a denominator in the brackets. And in my parentheses, I have 1 plus 0.09 over 12. The 0.09 over 12 I know is 0.0075, and you're going to add 1 to it. It becomes 1.0075. And again, if you don't feel comfortable to just write that down, with your calculator, do 0.09 divide by 12 equals, and the calculator will tell you it's 0.0075. So I'm going to add a 1 to that in my parentheses, so 0.0075 plus 1 will be 1.0075. That's the value in the parentheses. The exponent on the parentheses, 12 times 25, that should be 300. Again, you can check that on your calculator, and what I'm thinking is 10 25s is 250, then I have 2 more, 50 more, so I'm pretty comfortable that that's 300. I won't even bother to check it on the calculator. The minus 1 on the end, don't forget that. And in the denominator, the 0.09 over 12, again, is 0.0075. And typically, the formula has the same decimal in the numerator and denominator in the brackets. In the numerator, there's a 1 in front of the decimal. In the denominator, there is not. That's a good check to kind of look for. Now, the next thing that has to happen is the exponent of 300th power. That parentheses to the 300th power has to be dealt with. So as I continue to write the formula, I'm going to have A equals 130 times some brackets with a numerator and a denominator. In the numerator of the brackets, you're going to get the result of your 300th power minus 1, and you have 0.0075 in the denominator. Now, the big exponent of 300th power, there's no way I can do that without a calculator. So with my calculator, I'll clear the screen. The base of 1.0075, I enter that first, press my exponent button, enter the exponent of 300, hit equals, and the answer for the exponent is 9.40841453. So don't forget, that's in the numerator of the brackets. After the 9.40841453, there's a minus 1. You have the 0.0075 in the denominator still, and times 130 in front of the brackets. So the next thing I'll do is in the top of the brackets, the 9.48 something minus 1 will become 8.48 something. 8.40841453. You still have a 0.0075 in the denominator under that. And that's in the brackets. In front of the brackets, it's times 130. So the next thing I'll do is finish the work in the brackets. You have 8.408 something on top, and you're going to divide that by the 0.0075 that's in the denominator. Again, I can't do that without a calculator. you'll still have times 130 in front of that. So I'll have times 130, and then in the brackets I'll be down to one number. So if I do the 8.4084153, divide that by 0.0075, the result is 1121.121937. That number is in my brackets, and times in front of the brackets is 130. So the answer on my screen of 1121 point some stuff, I'm going to multiply times 130. Again, I'll use the calculator for that. And the answer comes out to 145,745.8519. So now my answer has 4 places, 4 digits after the decimal point. I only want 2, so I'll round it. It's 0.8519. So the 1 isn't big enough to make it a 0.86. So the final answer, if I put in the commas and everything, will be $145,745.85. So the person, Dave, in this question, if he saves $130 every month, which isn't too much to save. Again, some people spend more than that on coffee or eating out or whatever. If he does it for 25 years, after the 25 years, he'll have $145,000 or more than $145,000.